Been to one of our recreation facilities or parks lately? Notice anything different? Have the feeling that something changed? We'll tell you what's new with Chandler Parks and Recreation in just a moment. Hello everyone and welcome to Come Out and Play at Chandler. I'm your host Lisa Aquafreda. Well, today we have some exciting news. We're going to tell you about a recent but significant change that happened within Chandler Parks and Recreation. The idea for this change all started about 2 years ago when upper management, Parks and Recreation, came back from a National Recreation and Park Association conference where a lot of the key takeaways were the impact that recreation and park services have on a community.
They heard a keynote address from noted economist and Parks and Recreation enthusiast, Dr. Catlett. He spoke on the importance of Parks and Recreation and on the impact that the services that we offer provide on the community, that they are really a necessity and not just a nice to have.
Chandler Parks and Recreation shared this vision and started their journey and wanted to reevaluate their logo and tagline of Come Out and Play, finding a new identity that would truly express what they were all about.
Yes, it's fun. Yes, it's a great opportunity to come out and play, but it's so much more than that. Shortly after the conference, discussion began about, okay, well, what are we going to do? How are we going to implement this new idea? And to really help our residents and our guests see that Chandler has a lot to offer in the ways of Parks and Recreation and that it's impactful, it's meaningful for our life. We were changing lives. We were teaching people skills that they would take through their adulthood, whether it was learning how to operate on a team, whether it was building confidence through learning how to swim. We were providing these services that were impacting their future, and so we really wanted to make sure that our logo and tagline represented that future and that impact that the services we offer provide.
We've been doing it since my daughter was 2. We started out going to the Snedeker Easter celebration, and then we just discovered how many wonderful programs that the City of Chandler offers. My daughter has grown with the City of Chandler, and we love it.
Tonight I came to see the tortoise feeding. It was my first time here. I expected only to see the tortoise being fed, but it went beyond my imagination, and I learned an extraordinary amount.
There have been several studies done on the impact for health, wellness, the social settings, the monetary gains that a community has when they have solid parks and recreation. We hired a consulting team that took this journey with us, and we had representatives from all areas of parks and recreation that formed a committee so that we would be able to make sure that parks, recreation, aquatics, special events, teen programs, that all areas were really covered and that their viewpoint would be expressed in our meetings. Our committee and consultants worked very closely together over the last year, and we really kept a tight lip on everything that we were working on because we were so excited about it, and we wanted to make sure that we provided an experience for our staff as we unveiled it to them.
We'll be back to unveil the new logo after this fun fact. Finally, after 2 years in the making, the new image of Chandler Parks and Recreation was unveiled.
I'm not too sure. It has been mum's the word. It's top secret information, so we are excited to see what it's going to be.
My understanding is it's we're rebranding ourselves to bring us up to date. I want people to think of when they go to the parks, that they also think of the programming that we do for recreation. When they go to the pools, they think of the parks that the pools are in. So, yeah.
Well, I think the logo is going to represent the growth in Chandler, all the new areas that we're touching, how large we've grown the past few years. So the logo should encompass all of that. I've been with Chandler for 14 years, so it's been exciting to watch the division grow, watch the city grow, and everything's been very pleasant. All right, we're getting ready to go inside and have the huge unveil to our new logo.
On the count of three, I want you to pull it back. 1, 2, 3.
When you first look at our new logo, it might seem on the surface just a nice visual representation of Chandler, but it's so much more than that.
Logos and taglines have to connect on a personal level. They've got to hit home and they've got to be memorable. When I first saw this logo, I found it to be clear, crisp, bold, and to have a professional appearance. I thought it was really great that the colors that are in this logo match the colors in the city logo. Because we can't ever lose sight of the fact that yes, we are a team, but we are a team that's part of a bigger team. My favorite part of this entire logo is the tagline. Discover, imagine, and grow. I don't know about you, but this thing hit a home run for me. There's 3 words that I think communicate to our customers exactly what they can expect in every experience that they have with us.
You're a little kid and you're discovering all these new things for the first time. You're discovering the fact that Chandler has 62 parks. You're discovering that we have 6 aquatic facilities. We have 4 dog parks. We have these wonderful amenities, and you're constantly in this state of discovery, both personally and as a family. And then you take that next step and you use your imagination. You see yourself in all these different settings and how it works, what you're doing, what you're learning. Maybe you're taking a French cooking class for the first time and you're imagining what that cuisine is going to taste like at the end of your class. You're at your first swimming lesson and you see yourself as the next Michael Phelps on the Olympic podium. And then from there, you have this growth experience. You know, you're growing personally, professionally, spiritually, mentally, emotionally. There's so many aspects of growth that take place as you participate in recreational experiences. And with that, also the word grow speaks to our growing industry and our growing community. The mountains are the Santan Mountains, a nice nod to the City of Chandler logo, as they are the mountains that greet our residents every morning as they wake up from the southeast. So we wanted to make sure that there was a little bit of a nod to the city logo and a nod to the history and the beauty that those mountains provide to our residents. The Santan Mountains are also a beautiful representation of the sturdy and the stability that our services provide to the community. They are strong, they are immovable, they are here to stay, just like Chandler Parks and Recreation. If you take a look at the tree on our logo, it has a rather unique shape. That's because the shape of the tree is reminiscent of the shape of a cork oak leaf. The cork oak is believed to be the oldest tree planted in Chandler some 90 years ago on Ryan Road by our founder, Dr. A.J. Chandler. We felt that this was a really neat piece of our history and that we wanted to make sure that it was represented in our logo, that it was something that would be enjoyed and a nice talking point, that there was the history of our city included in our logo.
Just below the cork oak tree, you will notice a blue band with waves in it. This represents Chandler Parks and Recreation's 6 aquatic facilities.
We aim to provide the best resources available to our residents through swimming lessons for kids and adults, through aquafit classes, through lap swim programs to help residents train for triathlons. You name it, our aquatic facilities will offer it. Underneath that blue wave, you'll also notice a green line. The green represents more than 1,200 acres of parkland that Chandler has dedicated and set aside to make sure that they have ample opportunity to play in open spaces and to get out and experience fresh air. This green line also represents Chandler's 62 parks, our recreation facilities, as well as our special use parks, including our bark parks, our skate park, and our bike park. Our motto makes a promise to all of our residents and visitors that Chandler Parks and Recreation will always be a fun and happy place where you can explore your interests, learn through the arts, crafts, and nature, enjoy sports and recreational activities, and develop yourself in a healthy, nurturing environment. Access to quality parks and recreation programs can be a struggle for several communities, but here in Chandler, we want to make sure that all of our residents and visitors alike, regardless of their age, their income, their gender, or their physical abilities, that they have an opportunity to recreate here in Chandler, that they will have access to safe and affordable programming that's great for the entire family.
We'll be back to show you how staff and residents reacted to this change right after this fun fact. The support of the Chandler Parks and Recreation staff has been terrific, and now you can see the new look all around the city.
I think the new logo is fantastic.
It provides the city of Chandler a new, refreshing look.
I've been here for 34 years, and this is the first major change we've had in at least that long. So I really enjoy it. It's something great to look at. Really impressed with the work and effort it took to put something like this together. It came out really good.
I think it's great. I think it exemplifies a lot of what Chandler is, and especially I really go for the green trees in there. It exemplifies the green environment that Chandler tries to portray.
I think it's colorful and encompasses the values that we try to instill in our workday for the parks and the people of Chandler and visitors.
I think that the people will like it, and it will go to the depth of what we do.
Here's our new logo. It's on the cookie, and I really don't want to eat it because it's so pretty. What I really like about the new logo, I think my favorite part are the trees. But I love the fact that it represents the oldest tree in Chandler, and what an oak tree represents is longevity and strength, and I just love that whole image as part of our logo. So I really enjoy that it's in there, and I think they did a great job. Looking forward to using it and seeing how the public reacts to it.
It's been really exciting to hear our staff comment on the new look and feel of Chandler Parks and Recreation. They are proud to wear our new hats, the lanyards, the new promos that we've got to give away to the community. So come by and see us at our booths. We've got chapstick and sunscreen and coolers, so we'd love to share some of our swag with you. And we are just so proud of this new logo and this new tagline, and we really feel that it accurately represents who we are and what we do. It's been wonderful to hear from our staff how much they enjoy it and how connected they feel to it.
You can be a part of this change, and we'll tell you how after the calendar of events. Come bring the whole family Saturday, September 27th at the Dragonfly and Butterfly Bash. It takes place from 9 a.m. to noon at Veterans Oasis Park. Now in its 6th season, we'd like to welcome you Thursday, September 18th to the Sonoran Sunset Series. It takes place from 6 to 7 p.m. at Veterans Oasis Park. The Sonoran Sunset Series features free live entertainment for the whole entire family by the lake. We love to hear from our loyal fans, so please stay connected. Tweet us, find us on Instagram at Chandler Rec, Facebook us, and also watch all our videos on YouTube.
As members of the Parks and Recreation staff, we really see ourselves in this new logo and tagline, that we can envision ourselves there taking that first step of discovery, that we're using our imagination and we're growing in the process, and we hope that you can see yourself in it as well. Next time when you come to one of our aquatic or recreation facilities, take a look at that floor mat when you walk in, or the feather flags as you're pulling up, what they say, the colors that they are, and what they represent. We really wanted to make sure that we were presenting a uniformity to our residents and to our guests, that when they walked in, they knew that they were inside one of Chandler's park or recreation facilities.
Now that you've seen the new logo, learned about the meaning behind the image and tagline, we're going to need a new name for the show. And that's where you come in. We're holding a contest to see who comes up with the most fitting name possible that truly tells the story of Chandler Parks and Recreation. Submit your show name to breaktime@chandleraz.gov. In the subject line, type new show name and include your full name, age, current city reside in, and a phone number so we can reach you. We will take submissions through the month of July, so be sure to submit your new show name no later than Thursday, July 31st. The show name will be selected the following week. This is a great and creative opportunity to be a part of Chandler Parks and Recreation history. Thanks for watching so many wonderful years of Come Out and Play, Chandler. We really appreciate you being a loyal viewer, and we invite you to join in on the fun as we usher in a new Chandler Parks and Recreation program. I'm Lisa Acquafreda, and until next time, together, let's discover, imagine, and grow right here in Chandler.